Hello, this is Kuro, and I've been chosen today to give you another Pokemon video. Here are 5 reasons in my opinion why Pokemon Switch is going to suck. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think Pokemon Switch will be any good, but what I am saying is that it's going to be a huge step for Game Freak in Pokemon's transfer from the 3DS to the Switch. And if this video does good, then I'll make another video on why Pokemon Switch will be amazing. Without further ado, let's start the video. Number 1. The possible change to the fighting system. What I mean by this is that if you've been following the leaks, it is said that Game Freak may be trying to simplify the battle system, making it similar to the Digimon World game series, which is much different than the turn-by-turn system that us hardcore Poke fans have been used to for over 20 years now. It is a shame if this is true because a complete 180 in the very mechanics of the Pokemon games may turn off many of us, as it just simply wouldn't feel like a Pokemon game anymore. Game Freak needs to really be careful with this detail since it can either reboot the franchise or smash it into the ground. Number 2. This will be an overall too big of a jump from the DS systems. Since the release of the Nintendo DS in 2004, we've been accustomed to the dual screens that over the years have grown on just about all of us. I know, at least for myself, it is a great convenience to have a second screen, as the top screen is never bothered by anything, so the battle is never disturbed. Every action and command is handled by the bonus screen we have below. The Switch, unlike the DS, only has one screen. Yeah, if you're playing on the TV, then they might be able to work something out, but Pokemon's supposed to be a game you can play anywhere. At least for me, having only one screen is going to be a huge difference and will definitely take some getting used to. The other big jump is what Game Freak decides to do with this power that they will have thanks to the Switch. Every gen they like to add a new gimmick, such as the Megas of Gen 6 or the Z-moves of the 7th gen. Though these were most certainly game-changing features, one never actually had to use these if they did not choose to. With the Switch, however, these new gimmicks will be much larger in significance, such as if they decide to scrap their current system of linear paths to adopt an open world design thanks to the Switch's processing power. Though in theory this does sound really cool, I do not think, at least for the first Pokemon Switch game, that it will be executed very good, and again will not feel like a traditional Pokemon game. Number 3. Game Freak doesn't have much experience on home consoles. Though the company does have an in-house program called Gear Project that has released games not on the 3DS, such as Tembo the Badass Elephant and Giga Wrecker, in general, Pokemon has always been the company's main focus, and these games have always lived on the portable systems. As anyone knows, a portable game is much simpler than a home console one, as portable consoles can't even compare in terms of power. Take the newest Smash Bros. For example. While the 3DS version was good, I think everyone can agree that the Wii U version was far superior. All of this ties into why the jump from the 3DS family of systems to the Switch may not be the best thing for Pokemon, at least in the short term. I think Game Freak should first ease into the Switch by, instead of making a Gen 8 game, maybe to do a reboot of Red and Blue or even a Pokemon Stadium type of game. This way, even if the games are not perfect, it will still be an invaluable experience for the company, as they then go on to create the long-awaited Gen 8 game. It's not that I doubt Game Freak can deliver a good game on the Switch, I just think first they should take baby steps. Number 4. The game will probably be rushed. With all of the hype revolving the Switch and the goal Nintendo has set for Switch sales, it is no secret that both fan demand and Nintendo themselves will put serious pressure on Game Freak to get their next game to come out as soon as possible. Just like the next guy and his grandpa, I too want another Pokemon game as soon as I can get my hands on it, but above that, I want a quality game more. I want this next game to be the best it can possibly be, and in order for that to happen, Game Freak needs the time to properly develop it. Take Ultra Sun and Moon as an example of rushed Pokemon games. They came out less than a year after the originals, and look how they turned out. Besides some new gimmicks and a little bit of story added to the end, they were practically the same game. That's why many people didn't even bother picking them up. Everyone wants this new Pokemon game to come out this year, but as for myself, I don't want it to. Give Game Freak some time. A 2019 release is more than good in my book. Number 5. Finally, the last thing is, the hype for Pokemon Switch is too big. Again, with Ultra Sun and Moon, fans were outraged that they weren't on the Switch. So when they found out that the next gen games were on the Switch, people went bananas. Everyone seems to be expecting this amazing HD game with large free roaming lands, but we have little to no evidence that any of this will actually be true. Yes, the graphics are going to be substantially better, but that's all we should expect from this new game. The less hype, the better. I remember before Sun and Moon came out, we were all drooling over the idea of all of these new Mega Evolutions and new Alolan forms. I can't even count the amount of YouTube videos that were made on the subject. Then look, when the game finally was released, yup, no new Megas, and as for Alolan forms, many of them weren't that good, such as Alolan Dugtrio and Persian. Heck, we only got 18 of them. This is precisely why I'm going into this new game with few expectations, so when GameFreak finally does deliver, I'm not going to be let down. So there you have it, my reasons why Pokemon Switch is going to suck. Tell me, am I wrong? Right? What are your predictions on Pokemon Switch? Leave it all down in the comment section below, as well as to like and subscribe for more Pokemon content in the future. And as I said before, if this video is well received, I'll do a sequel on why I think Pokemon Switch will be amazing. That's it for today, Pokeworld. I'll see you all in the next battle. As for me, my Pokeball is calling my name, so this is Crow, switching out.